All right, welcome back to another episode of the Top of Off Cricket Podcast. I am your host, Kevin Henry, and as usual, with me, I got my boy them, Walter and Sam. And we're talking about everything West Indies cricket because you don't know, it's the full of energy season. Cricket in full swing. The young men they're playing, the academy boys playing. By the way, the young ladies won today. That was a good performance. It was a really good performance. But you still see some reliance on Haley Matthews. The first test, like we said, starts on Wednesday morning. Bay Johns, get y'all hill down there. All right? We want Kensington Oval rocking from side to side. Me and Matley, we expecting to see you there. All right? Anyways, so we've talked a lot about our 11 on several different occasions, who we expect to walk out at Kensington Oval, right? I think we've exhausted it, right? But I've been hearing a little thing that Kevlon Anderson is expected to debut, and Shea Hope is expected to be given the gloves. What are your thoughts on that, Walter? Anderson debuting against the Aussies.
I don't agree with him debuting. I don't think he should play in the first test. Maybe in the third, if things are not going as planned, well then I'll expect, because I don't have him. I don't have him the third. As I said, based on the team, and I've looked at it, I have Carty, Hope, Chase, Greaves, Imlach. That's the openers are obvious, right? So Cartier, three, Hope, Chase, Greaves, Imlach. That's what I have, and I don't think that we should put Anderson there. And as you said, I need Hope to just concentrate on batting. He is the Hope, because the fella retired from Trinidad. Hope is the best batter in the Caribbean in all formats.
Oh boy.
Sammy, do you think Kevlar should be thrown to the Wolves on Wednesday morning?
No, I don't. I've said it before. The litmus test for me was West Indies A versus South Africa A. And I'm sorry to say, but my countryman, my countyman, my fellow Barbician did not show up as I wanted him to show up, right? He has been given selection into the squad, well-deserved. But in terms of playing that first test at Bridgetown, no. And let me say this. Yes, we have called our 11s in the past. But here is what I think Darren Sammy is likely to do come Wednesday morning. I don't think he's going to put Kevlon Anderson up there. I do think he is more likely to put Brandon King in that 11 over Kevlon Anderson.
Why?
Brandon King obviously has more games under his belt than Kevlon Anderson, right? He has had his struggles in recent times, but we all know it takes one match, one outing to go out there and to make things happen, right? He has played international cricket. Remember, Darren, Sammy has made it clear, there is no white ball and red ball. There is cricket. Good? And I want to be clear. I'm not making this, I'm not batting for Brandon King because, of any connections or what have you, right? This is my opinion. I do believe Darren Sammy is likely to go with Brandon King over Kevlon Anderson, right?
You think it would be a safer?
Kevin, you can agree.
It would be a safer.
I would venture out and to say yes. Like I said, Brandon King has international experience. There is a question mark at this time, right? Question mark at this time, given his recent performances, right? But I do believe that's a safer bet.
So Walter,
now, when I originally made my 11 or what have you, right? The last time I commented on this, both of them would have been out, essentially. But when the conversation turns to those two players, I would go with Brandon King.
Okay.
Right? You were asking your
so Walter.
Oh.
It is sounding like Hope will be given the gloves, right? Over Imlach. Do you think the West Indies team will be better served with Hope donning the gloves?
No, I don't think he should. At this point, our best team is not one with Hope having the gloves. And with even Brandon King in the team. We obviously the openers. I'll say this: Carty because of form, Hope because he has scored 1700s and he has the international experience and he has defense. He could defend, as you said. In when he went to England, there was analysis of him defending, and he can defend. Chase is proven before that if he sticks to what the basics, he can score, as Bishop reminded us today. He has 500s, and Tevin Imlach has 6 first-class hundreds. So
in the last 2 years,
that even more than Brandon King, who has 3, right? 6 first-class hundreds and 8 50s. That means that he has a very good turnover, right? In 56 innings. So I would go with Tevin Imlach because of the batting ability and because he also showed some form in the last few months. And he didn't bat too bad in Pakistan.
So you would go Shea Hope at number 4. Just hold a minute, Sam. Shea Hope at number 4 and Imlach at 7.
Yeah, Imlach at 7. Imlach is keeping.
Okay.
I might even put Imlach in front of Greaves. But Imlach at 6 and have Greaves come at 7. But I could interchange.
Sammy,
we need to look.
No, I'm gonna say 2 things. Here is my final 11. Forget about every 11 I've mentioned before. Here is my final 11 if I were in Sammy's shoes. Braithwaite, Campbell, Carty, Hope, Chase, Greaves, Imlach, Alzari, Shamar, Seals, and Warwick. That's it.
We're in the same page, Sammy. We got the same team.
Correct. That is if I were picking the team. What I think Sammy is going to do is likely leave Imlach out and bring in King at 4. Now you might be asking yourself why. We said, Sammy has made his position clear. There is no red ball and white ball cricket. There is just cricket, right? He wants to try some new things. And with Imlach in the side, it reduces the flexibility he has. You see? That's what it does. So if you take Imlach out of the 11, Hope now is able to play 2 roles, and you now free up a position where you can experiment. So it's not what I would do, it's what I think Sammy is likely to do come Wednesday morning.
But Imlach could play purely as a batsman, though. So
again,
Hope could keep and Imlach could be in the middle. He might could play.
Yes,
That
but
wouldn't happen, but yeah.
remember, with all the issues Brandon King has had in recent times, a little bit out of form or what have you, right? Sammy has him in the 16.
My
That's not by accident.
my thing is that if Hoop is going to play, he's
Mm.
going to debut in Jamaica.
Oh, King, you mean?
King,
No, I thought of
King.
that too. Like
If he's going to
if I
play,
had to make the call,
if
yeah.
we're in a bad position and it needs to
Mm.
be changes, I think he might play in Jamaica. But I think that this is the team that's going to start. I think this is the team that Sammy's going to pick
Mm.
on Wednesday. And the only change, as you guys said, is King. I don't think Anderson is going to start, but we could be wrong. Maybe Kevy?
I think Sammy's gonna go a bit brave and he's gonna play Kevlon Anderson.
What do you think about that, though, Kevy?
Huh? I don't agree
What do
with
you think about that?
I don't agree with it, right? But Darren Sammy's picking the team, and you've got to give him your trust, right? He obviously knows what he's seeing in Kevlon Anderson. He's a wonderful young batsman, right? Still some things to iron out in terms of the mentality, but he's a wonderful young batsman, and he's proven that over the last 2 seasons. It would be a tough learning environment for him because that is what this is going to essentially be, right? But if Shai Hope plays and takes the gloves, I personally think you don't want your best batsman with the gloves on, especially given the workload you're going to be asking him to do, right? So let us see if that comes to pass. I hope it doesn't. But based on what I'm hearing, that is the route that they're going, right? Would I love to see Brandon King in that middle order? Yes. But the Brandon King I would love to see in that middle order is one that is in form. Now, obviously, Darren Sammy knows his reasons, and the data that he counts on points him to Brandon being in the West Indies squad, right? I don't see Brandon showing up at Kensington. More than likely, if things go kind of south, he might show up at Sabina Park. It's a good place for him to show up. He's made some runs there. It's a good place for him to show up. But this West Indies, the final 11 that is selected, right? They've got their work cut out for them, especially given the fact that one of our premier fast bowlers is not in form. Shai Hope is coming back in from the wilderness. Roston Chase is coming back in from the wilderness. John Campbell is coming back in from the wilderness, right? Casey Carty's being roped back into 11 after being dropped in. I think he was dropped for the second test, if I'm not mistaken, in Multan, right? So there's some work to be done.
Prophet is not in form.
Craig Braithwaite is not in form, right? But here's the good thing. We're playing at home. The whole West Indies is considered home, right? You should be comfortable in your environs. And with that, I am looking for the young men to show up. I'm looking for Craig Braithwaite to show up. I'm looking for a good start between him and Campbell. Yeah, go ahead, Sam.
Here is what I want to happen on Wednesday. I want us to win the toss and to send Australia into bat. That would be my decision. I don't know if you guys agree with that.
Yeah, there's a wise decision.
Right?
And I think if
that's what we
whoever
need.
wins the toss is bowling first. Whoever wins the toss is bowling. I know that for sure.
If we gotta go in there and I mean, the world knows the discussions around Australian batting at this time, right? We don't want to give them a chance to see how the pitch playing. Send them into bat, but we gotta win the toss.
But the best time for batting in Barbados is the second and third day anyway. So
This is one time. Sammy, you know I am big on runs on the board. But this is one time, right, where I would like to see us bowl first. This is one time where I would like to see us bowl first, right? Look to put the Australians under pressure early and take it from there. But anyways, fellas,
Yeah, that's it.
we eagerly await Darren Sammy's first 11. Let's see if it's Brandon King at number 4, or Shea Hope at number 4, or young Kevlin Anderson at number 4, Shea Hope with the gloves instead of Tevin Imlach, or Tevin Imlach with the gloves. All right. On that note, Top of Our Cricket Podcast. It was good having you guys. Let's chop it up down in the comments. Remember, we're full of energy. If you're in Barbados, make your way down to Kensington Oval and keep the place rocking for 5 full days. We out.
full of energy.